Hey guys, welcome back. Today I have just a overview of the Luth-AR rifle buffer tube assembly. Backstory to it is I'm in the middle of an AR-10 build and I needed a rifle length buffer tube, a spring, and buffer for an AR-10. So I went on to Brownells and picked this one up. So reading over the advertisement on Brownells as well as the advertisement on the packaging itself, you can see there's some difference between the two. The packaging here says .223556 A2 extension. It goes in a little bit further detail here, and it doesn't say anything about 308. Where it does say 308 is back here on the labeling, and I don't know if this is a Brownells SSN or if this is a Luth-AR one, but if you look up the part number on Brownells and you look up the part number on Luth-AR, they both come up the same. Where it says 308 is BAP-308, 308 rifle buffer assembly. At the top here, you can still see the same thing, 223556. So it's not saying anywhere in here that the 223 or 556 or 308 is the same thing. So you can see by the packaging here and by the advertisements, the only place that says it is on that UPC. One way I can look at this is I have my original Bushmaster rifle here. It started off as an XM15 E2S, which basically means that stock, upper, lower are all the same except for the barrel, which I've swapped out to an A2 length barrel somewhere along the lines. But all these parts have stayed together. So what I'm going to do here is pull out the buffer tube, pull out the buffer, the spring, and compare them to these to see if there's any difference. We're just going to compare the two. I'm not going to go too much into weight or to measurements, but what we will do is compare these two things. Now, the rifle was purchased back in early 2000s, so the spring may have taken a set or so, but we'll look and see that if the two are the same. So let me get the buffer out of here and the buffer spring. All right, now let's open up the Luth-AR buffer tube assembly. So looking at the two together here, we can denote a couple things just right off the bat. The spring lengths are about the same. However, the spring coils, the actual material, is thicker. As for the buffer, you can see the original Bushmaster rifle buffer is up here on the top, and the Luth-AR is on the bottom here. That there is a difference between the length of these two. Let me go grab an M4 carbine length buffer tube and we'll take a look at that. Okay, reaching into my stash, I came up with an M4 buffer and spring. So we can see the difference between all of these. If I bring out my caliper, and yeah, it's a cheaper one, but it'll suffice for what we need it for. With it switched over in inches, we can see that the original rifle in the A2 556 is measuring in at about a .06. We can read the M4 spring. M4 spring's reading roughly about the same. And the Luth-AR is coming in 0.7. For lengths, the M4 you're looking at about 10 3/4. The 556 A2 is 12 3/8, and then the Luth-AR you're coming in at just about 12 7/8. Now if we swap over to our buffers, the M4 comes in at 3.26 inches. The Luth-AR is coming in at 5.28 inches, and the Bushmaster buffer in 556 is coming in at 5.91 inches. I can't test the compression of the springs, but I can test the weight of the buffers themselves. So borrowing the wife's kitchen scale, we're in ounces right now. The M4 comes in at 2.9 ounces. The Luth-AR 5.3. And the Bushmaster 556 comes in at 5 ounces. Okay guys, this was the look at the Luth-AR rifle buffer tube assembly for 308. I'm going to have to do a little bit more research on these two factors, that looking at the measurements and the weights. I'm sure Brownells isn't steering anybody wrong whenever they advertise it. It's just what you can see whenever you get the package in the mail. So hope this helped out. I am videotaping this on the new workbench setup. If you want to know how that was made, I got another channel going over all that stuff. But look forward to more videos on coming on this AR-10 build. All right, thanks for watching.